We're gonna release the bigger gulpy. Okay, John, go ahead. Bam!
Woo! 6 slob right there. 7, another slob. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 halibut, 1 bass, 2, 3.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to Surfside, California. You know what time it is. Well, before I get to that, let me tease what we're going to talk about. Bluefin tuna fishing last night. How was it? We'll cover that with you all. The boys in San Diego are seeing an awful lot of fish, but are they biting? We'll have some info on that. Local fishing has been good. When I say local, I'm talking about our islands also. Some really great fishing on board the Freedom for some deservedly great police officers who I had the pleasure of spending some time with before their departure. And of course, we're going to look at San Francisco. We'll go south of the border, look at Ensenada, even Gonzaga Bay, and we'll have some information on the Channel Islands. And you private boaters, you want live squid in the Channel Islands, stay tuned because we'll have that for you also. You know what time it is, everybody. Good morning. It's time for the morning briefing. I just had to do that. Hey, you already saw Juan Cook. He was releasing a leopard grouper. I believe he's fishing Gonzaga Bay, kept one and released one, and some nice fishing down there in Gonzaga Bay. That's a place I definitely want to get to before the end of the year. All right, once again, all these subscribers that are coming on right now, record numbers for us, record numbers on our stats, hundreds of thousands of hours consumed by all of you. And I can't thank you enough. And the way that happens is when you hit that like button. We deeply, deeply appreciate all of you who do that. When you share these reports with someone else, that also helps us a great deal. Subscribe to the channel. Tick the bell and you'll be notified when there is new content. Hey, happy Memorial Day weekend. This year is flying by. I don't know if it's my old age or what it is, but this has been a year that has just zoomed on by. And as we go through this year, you are going to see the fishing get better and better and better as water temperatures start to increase. You know, we're still dealing with, in the bluefin tuna areas, like 61, 62 degree water. That is very, very cool. About 8 degrees cooler than it has been in previous years. So we need to catch up. Chronologically, yeah, we're moving into June here very, very soon. But in terms of water temperature, and that really is what dictates most everything on the water, water temp, we're still in spring for sure. And you know what that means. Maybe some longfin in our very near future. All right, let's jump in. Let me just tell you that up in San Francisco, as you saw at the beginning of the report, that was the Pacific Angler limiting out on halibut and stripers. Great fishing going on. Just want to reemphasize that. All right, last night on the bluefin tuna grounds, it was tough for most guys. A couple of boats had really good ones, but most guys had a handful of bluefin tuna. That fish is so squirrely. It is just zooming around all over the place and not staying still in any one area. And then when you do get on it, it's not biting all that well for most of the boys last night. The Royal Star had 4 bluefin tuna last night. Diego Nuno, there he is, the guy that's helping us with Cedros Island, taking so many much needed items down there. Diego in a photo right there. He's on the Royal Star. They had 4 fish. Talked to the Pegasus. They had 6 fish last night, 70 to 90 pounders. Nice grade, beautiful grade. But for the most part, it's a little bit on the tougher side. Now, I do want to emphasize there are some nice scores. Polaris Supreme just got in from a 2-day trip, had 76 on the bluefin tuna, so there are some very good scores. Diego said last night the Nomad knife jig, 420 grams, was working best of all. Of course, you're fishing a 2-speed reel. I like 100, 130 pound on there, nothing less than 80, but you should have 100 if you're going on a day and a half trip. And the amount of fish being seen by guys not only on those overnight trips, but on the local trips, which I'll get into in a moment with you all, man, it's phenomenal. That light switch goes on, it's going to get crazy. So keep that in mind. Pretty tough last night on the Bluefin Tuna Grounds, and hopefully that's going to kick into gear. A guy by the name of Yutaka Suganuma. Yutaka Suganuma. Well, I don't know Yutaka, but I can tell you this. He's one heck of a generous guy. I don't even know what boat he was on, but he posted a photo, had 3 bluefin tuna, gave 2 of those fish to friends on the boat, or not even, just people that were having a tough time. And then his one fish was 85 pounds. He said, hey, I got so much fish. If you see me here on Facebook and you want a fillet, just let me know. I'll take good care of you. So what a great and generous person. My hat is off to you, my friend. Keep up the great work. All right, on the local area, I'm talking boats that go out for one day, and I'm talking a full day. Leave in the morning, come back in the afternoon. Pretty tough fishing for those guys also. But there is one common thread, one common denominator to what all those guys out of San Diego are telling me, and that is, man, we are seeing more fish now than we've seen all season long. There is a lot of bluefin around in our local areas, and not only a lot of bluefin, but big fish. So I admonish you all, if you're jumping on the San Diego or the Liberty or the Grande, any one of those boats, Sea Watch, any of those guys that are fishing in that local area, if you have it, bring a 2-speed with 100-pound. Definitely want to have that. You also want to have that 30 to 40-pound outfit and like a 50, 60-pound, 80-pound outfit to go along with that. Because one of these days it's going to bite, and you do not want to be sitting there with 25-pound tests watching guys catch 100-plus pound bluefin tuna, and there are a lot of them around. Sea Watch had a 150-pound bluefin yesterday to illustrate the point. Only one. They also had 14 yellowtails, seeing a lot of fish. San Diego yesterday, 11 yellowtails, seeing tons of yellows on the kelps, as well as bluefin tuna, and they're big in the Grande, 24 guys, 10 yellowtail. That could go off this weekend. It could go off a week from now. You just never know. You have to go prepared. So make sure you're bringing heavier tackle on those kinds of trips. It will pay huge dividends for you all. Man, are we blessed or what? Look at how nice that ocean is today, and there is no wind at all. It's absolutely gorgeous. You guys are on our Apollo trip, departing Wednesday night. Still not making a call. Probably won't make a call till that night. I'm telling you right now, really got to bring everything at this point in time. Everything. Be ready to fish bluefin. Be ready to fish sea bass, halibut. It's just that kind of a situation this year. On the one hand, we're blessed because we have all those different options. On the other hand, it's kind of tough to plan for it. So we'll see how things develop here over the weekend. Going to have a lot of coverage out there. That should really help to decide things. I know the Amigos out. They're looking at some yellows this morning, and several other boys are also seeing some fish. That bluefin last night was tough for just about everybody. It was in one area around San Clemente Island, and it moved out of there. So it gave the guys the slip last night. We'll see where that all goes. Just talked to Pat Whitaker. Private boaters, listen up. If you're in the Channel Islands, Pat is going to be at Santa Rosa Island. He had some pretty rough weather, so he's going to hang out there. You need to call him on Channel 11. His vessel's name is the Mañana, and he's trying to hang out around Ford Point, but you can call him on 11, Channel 11, the Mañana. He's at Santa Rosa Island around Ford Point, and that's who you want to call. He'll give you an update on how much bait he's got, whether or not he's moved from Ford Point, but that's where he's hanging out right now. His cell phone, even though we're giving you the number, that it's been tough. Let's put it that way. He hasn't had very much contact on the cell phone, but once again, Channel 11, and you can get baited up. All right, I got to take you to 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro because I loved the guys that were on the Freedom, and so did the guys on the Freedom, and I get the feeling that the police officers who were on board the Freedom loved the crew of the Freedom also. What a great trip. I talked to Steve Welsh, and he's a galley cook on board the Freedom. Affable, wonderful, good guy. And he said, man, America's finest out here with us. It was so much fun. We ended up with 16 nice halibut. And while we're drifting in the mud, we come up with a yellowtail also. And then they had tons of whitefish and rockfish. So much more on board the Freedom. Just a wonderful trip with police officers who lay their lives on the line every single day for you and I. So we thank them for their service. We're stoked they had such a wonderful trip on board the Freedom. and it was just a memorable trip. And as I say, I got to interact with those guys before they left. I was down there doing the Danny Cadota show, also doing an interview with Trevor Downing, captain of the Freedom, along with Tino Valentine, and they were great. Fun-loving, really wanted to just have a fun day on the water, and they got more than they bargained for. Really good. Don't forget Freedom Monday night, no fuel surcharge. They are going Monday night. That is when you're going to want to jump on. All right, let's take a look. Thunderbird yesterday, 7 yellowtail. They had rockfish to go along with it. They're trying to make that yellowtail thing happen again. There's been some really good fishing out on Cortez Bank on big grade yellowtail. Most of the time you need to be on a day and a half trip to fish that, or in fact you do need to be on that. But also San Clemente Island's been kicking out some yellows also. The big grades out there on Cortez, you're going to want to most of the time dropper loop about 100 feet of water where the fish were at one point in time, and fish the heavy because they are mean, tough, nasty. And once again, I highly recommend that you take a listen to Trevor Downing's report. In fact, I should tag that on one more time for you on today's report. I'll see how I'm feeling about that. But make sure you stay through the credits because we're going to have some bonus stuff for you here tonight. Pursuit had a handful of yellows last time we heard from him. He's on his way to Catalina Island, picking away at the rockfish and whitefish. Previous day, 31 yellowtail. Marcos Garcia was on that trip, had some really great fishing. Cat is really looking like it could go. On the Native Sun, they went 4 for 6 on that halibut, and the 2 they lost got a look at the gaff and said, see ya, and got out of there. So they've had some pretty decent halibut fishing. They're picking away at the rockfish. Had some tougher conditions yesterday, but hopefully that all settles down. And the Native Sun will be available all week long next week out of 22nd Street Landing, beautiful San Pedro, California. All right, let me take you down to San Diego, where the Daily Double with Fred was out on a kids trip, and they just had great fishing. They've been fishing deepwater rockcod on the 9 Mile Bank for most of the year, and it's been phenomenal for the Daily Double and several other guys out of San Diego. Premier with these nice reds and all kinds of stuff. But yesterday, they had a kids trip. My hat's off to them, getting kids out on the water. They're good sand and calico bass fishing. Ended up with 52 sand bass. They also had 22 calico bass, 27 rockfish. But a great time was had by some future fishermen. Kids, getting them out into the ocean's environment is so great. I think of Michael Limon, who comes down to the 22nd Street Landing office all the time with his grandpa, Dan, and they fish the docks, and Michael doing so well in school right now. Fantastic stuff. Can't thank you guys enough who get more and more kids out on the water like friends of Rallo. All right, my friends, Monte Carlo yesterday, some sculpin, a few reds, 17-pound halibut. What a halibut year it has been. Enterprise with limits of sculpin and rockfish. There's been some really nice rock fishing going on up and down our coast, and that is continuing. Up in the Channel Islands, it got a little breezy yesterday for some of the boys. The Coral Sea out of Santa Barbara, 15 on the halibut. Nice hit on the flatties. It's been an incredible year for a flatfish. Most recently, the Aloha Spirit with 40 halibut on a single trip. So that really has been outstanding. Mirage had a white sea bass and some rockfish. Yesterday, Stardust with good rockfish out of Santa Barbara. So that continues to go along. Hits on the white sea bass are imminent. You know, I mean, this sea bass season, if you ask my humble opinion, hasn't even come close to hitting its stride. When that water gets up to around 63, 64, 65, it's going to get insane. But in the meantime, you get these occasional ripper bites. The Endeavor's had it. Several other boats have had it. The halibut bite has been excellent. Rockfish everywhere, omnipresent. It's been really great on that also. So we continue to see some excellent fishing. All right, Dan and Susie, who are regular morning briefers, they are always here with us. They're headed to Florida, and they promise to keep us in touch. Safe travels, my friends, and I can't wait to see some of your fishing exploits on the other side of the United States. And Patrick Avellino, what a great guy. I met him for the first time yesterday. Recently had a charter on board the Independence. He's a sweetheart. Brought down so much medical equipment that now we will move to Mexico. Patrick, thank you very much. You'll be able to see that at the end of today's report. All right, my friends, I don't know how to thank you. Our subscribers, so many coming on now. We're firmly locked on 8,000 subscribers and moving into the 10,000 range right after that. I mean, it's moving so fast now, so many people coming on board that I don't see it slowing down. And I just want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you who like these, who share them, who subscribe to the channel. It means an awful lot to us. All right, beautiful day. Hope you can get out. Nice day to do some surf fishing, cast a 3/4 ounce chrome crocodile, and wind it back and hang a yellowfin croaker or two. All right, my friends, we're going to watch it all for you very, very closely. I'll be back with more updates throughout the day and throughout Memorial Day weekend. I wish you a wonderful celebration this weekend, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends. Friend, how are you?
Very good.
Man.
Very good.
You have school supplies, medical supplies, so much more. Tell everybody out there what it is you brought, and we're going to get across the border to Mexico.
So what we're bringing to Mexico are a bunch of medical supplies, first aid kits, bandages, lidocaine patches.
Oh my God.
Stuff that the pangaritas will definitely need. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And for their kids, we brought a whole bunch of school supplies. I mean, boxes of school supplies for them.
It's 22nd Street Landing, the Independence.
Yep.
Those guys let me make there's always 100 bags of clothing, and it's in their way. Never complain. It's nice to see the fishing community coming together and doing these great things across the border.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
You're very welcome.
Could I get a hug again?
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Appreciate everything you're doing.
You're
man.
very welcome.
Another great day at 22nd Street Landing. Thanks to Patrick Avellino and the Manning family for making dreams come true. Trevor, good to see you, man.
You too.
How are you?
Good, good.
30 yellows on the Freedom. Was that right? Is that what you guys
well,
had?
31, but yeah.
Yeah,
who's
okay.
counting?
Whoops. I don't
Yeah,
want
who's
to leave
counting?
one out, man. Good hit.
Yeah.
What are you catching those yellows on? What grade are they? Fill us in.
Very good grade to start off with. They're all mean for the most part. We lost a lot, but squid, yo-yo jigs. We pretty much caught them on a little bit of everything. Dropper loop. One on the sardine, which is strange because you're chumming sardine.
Yeah.
And they're boiling all around the boat, but they're only eating the squid and the yo-yo iron.
All right, well, let's dissect this a little bit. Are the fish all deep, or are there fish?
It's strange. I mean, you mark them for the most part deep,
Yeah.
but you see them visually
Yeah.
all around the boat.
Boiling
You
and
would
stuff?
think a fly line sardine would do the trick, but a lot of people tried, but they saw that people catch them on the squid, so that's how everyone else
How heavy of a torpedo are you using on the dropper loop?
I mean, we're like 100 feet or so, you know, like an 8 ounce or something like that. The current, we had little to no current, so I had a feeling if the current was going the way it should be, it could have gotten a lot uglier.
Yeah. 5-0 hook?
Yeah, for the squid, like anywhere from a 3 to a 5.
Yeah. And the greater fish, you know, I looked at, some guys were talking about, hey, you know, the fish aren't that big. I looked at the photo you sent me, that group photo, and I go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Those are really nice fish.
Yeah, I would say average 20, but then there was a lot of standouts, 25, 30s, you know, like that. And the ones that we lost were probably about the same, you know.
Any color on the yo-yo iron?
Not necessarily. Everybody was just kind of pulling stuff out of their tackle bags, you know, whatever, after they lost 2, you know.
Yeah.
They'd pull just whatever they can, you know, the Colt Snipers, the whatever, you know.
Everything was getting better.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And fishing heavy, you want to fish heavy when you're
For
yo-yoing,
sure, and that's
right?
the thing. I told everybody when we're going to be here, these yellows are prone to being really mean, so make sure we're prepared. And everyone was prepared, but we just got brutalized.
Oh, man. So you went through a lot of fish?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we hooked probably 50 or 60 to get our 30.
Are you fishing bad neighborhoods? I mean, is there a lot of rocks, pinnacles?
That's the thing. The structure isn't the problem. It's just they're just
Light
angry
line.
fish.
If
Yeah,
you're fishing light line, you're going to get...
exactly. Yeah,
worked.
and the yellows weren't really committing to the yo-yo jigs as
Yeah.
much. We snagged a couple, and every fish it would just be a single hook in the mouth. They weren't swallowing it. You know, they were just kind of being a little hesitant.
Okay, very good. So we've gotten this real close-up view of what you're talking about. Now let's take a broader view. What about bluefin? The other night, you had 18 bluefin tuna.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful grade of fish. That fish has had a great tendency to move around a lot. Is that still the case? Is that still a possibility?
Yeah, where we were yesterday, we were kind of we were way away from the area, given where we ended up. You know, because it was all MIA until we were too far away.
Yeah.
You know, from it. So it was on the complete it was just the farthest away we could possibly be from
Yeah.
it, you know, which is unfortunate, but that's fishing. You know, I was trying to relocate stuff by myself, trying to do a little scouting while they were doing their thing, looking around. But they have the big guns, you know, the big guys over there. They know what they're doing for the
Yeah.
most part. They do it every single day. So
You're talking about the San Diego
yeah,
fleet?
the San Diego
Yeah.
fleet. You know, they're all looking around, communicating, and I just wanted to kind of hopefully be a hero, find my own fish. But
Yeah, right.
sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You know.
Exactly. When you were catching them, what kind of jigs were you using at night? How heavy?
Just the standard. Well, that's another thing too. We weren't prepared on that last trip.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
we could have caught more. We were just everyone thought we were sea bass fishing, but we took a hard 180, you know, and went switched gears. And but yeah, knife jigs. Surprisingly, people were more prepared than we thought.
Yeah.
It was just the rods that were lacking. You know,
Yeah, you
the
need to
heavy
have
rods.
a 2-speed reel with 80, 100 pounds.
Yeah, 80
right?
minimum, yeah, because the fish that we caught were anywhere from 15 all the way up to the biggest one we caught was like 80 or 90 or
Wow.
so. But
Wow.
for the most part, I was surprised at the numbers that we got. You know,
Yeah, me
18
too.
given no one was prepared was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know.
thought.
That's an amazing thing. And so when you're fishing the jigs, is it a 300 gram or heavier?
Like
or?
250, 300 like that,
Yeah.
you know. And then color-wise, I don't really know about a certain color, you know. Because
You don't
if
think it's important?
If it's biting, it's biting, you know. I mean, some
they're
people
biting
would say-
torpedo sinkers.
Yeah,
for God's
that's
sake.
that's the thing. As long as
Right.
it's a piece of metal with some hooks on it, I guess. I'm pretty sure.
As long as you drag it by them.
Yeah,
It's kind of a
exactly.
reaction
bite,
bite or
yeah.
something like that.
Exactly.
That's for sure. But you definitely want to fish heavier tackle, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be caught with your pants down for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So we've covered tuna now. We've covered the yellowtail, sea bass, and halibut. It's been an incredible year so
It
far
has,
this
yeah.
year.
Not so much for us though. We've been zigging when we should be zagging, and then we're having trouble. We were having trouble getting off the dock, so when we were laying at the dock, they were messing them up, and then by the time we were able to get out there, it was just not time. It was just right place, right time, especially with those things.
But that still is within the realm of possibilities.
Exactly,
on
yeah.
the trip on the Freedom right now,
Very
right?
true, yeah, very true. We're kind of we caught those bluefin. We had tremendous sign of it, so we were
Yeah.
like, okay, let's switch
We're
it up. You
bluefin
know,
tuna
yeah,
fishing
exactly.
the
Let's
rest
do
of the
it,
year.
and then literally the next day, it's all gone. So we're just waiting for it to settle in. Hopefully, it'll settle in and not keep on moving, going all crazy. But it seems like it's kind of staying in the same kind of area. It's just trying to relocate it each day is becoming the,
It's a
the
pain in
issue.
the neck. And it's not only for you guys. I know I talk to the San Diego fleet every single night. and
Exactly, yeah.
Sometimes at 2, 3 in the morning. I get up to hit the restroom. I send a message to somebody, and then I'm in an hour conversation and
Right,
not getting
yeah.
any sleep. But same thing. That fish just seems to be squirrely this year, moving around a lot. They'll drive out there and go, oh my God, we got to relocate this stuff.
Yep.
With those guys, though, they got 20 boats.
Oh yeah.
You know, in a code group,
Exactly.
and somebody finds them. You're out there, it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, we have our little connections here and there, but they got it dialed
Yeah,
in. You know,
yeah.
that's what they do every single day. We're trying to focus on. It's a little too early for us to be doing that, but if fish is biting, we're going to be there, obviously.
Halibut, sea bass, dropper loop most
Dropper
of the
loop.
time or not?
Yeah, for the most part, when we do catch them, it's been on the dropper loop or the slider. You know,
Yeah.
depending if it's like a gray light kind of deal. The sun's starting to come up. You want to switch over from dropper loop to like a lead head, small lead head, or a light slider in the squid.
You guys are on an overnight charter tonight.
Yeah.
Are you focusing on? Are you going to try for bluefin tonight? Is that,
I don't
or is
know.
that
It's
gonna be
all
a
up to them.
possibility?
It seems like these guys are really mellow, low key. They just want to
Go have
go
a
out
good
and
time.
drink beers. You know, that's pretty much it. A nice boat ride and the fish is a bonus kind of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Right on.
but I don't know what we're gonna do.
I know you have a trip Monday. There's no fuel surcharge on that trip. That's
Nope.
a great bargain. And that's a day and a half trip, right?
Day and a half, yeah, and
What should people come prepared to fish for?
literally everything, yeah.
I know,
from freaking
right?
blue perch to bluefin, literally, yeah.
So Scott Bucher could make the trip because
he
he
could,
loves
yeah,
blue perch fishing.
yeah, he sure can.
He likes the lift pole. It's
Right,
a little
yeah.
strange that way. But you definitely want to bring your 2 speeds.
Yeah,
130
definitely.
pounds.
Yeah, definitely be prepared for bluefin. Definitely be prepared for sea bass, yellowtail, halibut, the whole everything, because we have that opportunity right now, which is really cool.
Awesome. Trevor, always a pleasure, my
Yeah,
friend.
thank you very much.
Thanks
Phil.
for stopping by. Good luck tonight and good luck Monday night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.